What's going on, everybody? Josh Pocock here, and in today's video we're going to be going over how you can cancel GitHub Copilot. You don't have to pay 20 bucks a month. You can use tools like Claude Engineer. I'm going to show you how you can set this up. It's open source, free to use. You do have to pay for API credits, of course, through Claude, but we're going to show you how you can do this very, very simple. Let's dive right into it. All right, guys, so here is Claude Engineer. Now, if you've been following this channel for a while, or maybe you've seen some of the other videos or just seen other videos out there, you've been in the AI space, doing AI coding, etc., you would know that this isn't the first AI pair programming tool, right? Obviously, there's GitHub Copilot, but we've also covered multiple other open source tools on this channel. And a lot of people have been asking, hey, what's the best one? What's your preferred stack? All right, so just to quickly, this isn't all of them, but just to cover some of the main ones that we've talked about, we've covered tools like Aider. I really love Aider, and Claude Engineer is somewhat similar to Aider. We've covered continue.dev. I really, really love continue.dev. It's they have a Chrome extension directly in VS Code, as well as JetBrains integration too. So I really like it for those reasons. And then also just recently covered Claude Dev. This is somewhat more of a newer one, and I really do like this one. All right, you may be wondering what's the difference between Claude Engineer and Claude Dev. Well, Claude Engineer is more in the using the AI in the console or in the terminal, just like as how Aider works. Claude Dev is more like how continue.dev works, right? And I like Claude Dev just because it's really nice for one, and there's you watch my Claude Dev video if you want to know all the reasons, but it's really good with Claude Sonnet 3.5, which, as we know, is the best coder out there, essentially, at least from what we've seen so far. All right, to the open market. Anyways, so what you're going to need for Claude Engineer is, of course, you're going to need Anthropic. All right, so you can go to your console.anthropic account and get your API key here. Okay. Once you do that, also, I just want to mention that the founder, Pietro, posted on Twitter introducing Claude Engineer 2.0 with agents. Biggest updates yet, with the addition of a code editor and code execution agents and dynamic editing. When editing files, especially large ones, Engineer will direct a coding agent, and the agent will provide changes in batches. Batches are smartly selected based on file complexity. The code execution agent will run the code and check for issues. It can even start processes like live servers and end them. It's insanely powerful. All right, so you can check maybe this out. I guess he's showing some examples here, obviously linking back to the GitHub repo, and I'll leave a link to this too in the description down below, along with the GitHub repo, of course. But yeah, here is the repo. There's a lot of features, to be honest. This tool is not, I guess, it's still fairly new. I mean, it's a few months old, but in terms of AI and AI years or AI months, you know, AI moves so quickly. This is like considered, I guess, a bit of an older tool, right? Even though it's only been around for a few months, really. But Claude Engineer is an advanced interactive command line interface CLI that harnesses the power of Anthropic's Claude 3, Claude 3.5 Sonnet models to assist with a wide range of development tasks. Okay, so features interactive chat interface, comprehensive system operations, create folders, files, read, write files, web search capabilities using Tavily API. That's another thing, you're going to need Tavily. All right, so pretty good tool. You can go to google.com, search up Tavily. All right, and they give you, I believe, 1,000 free credits, which is pretty useful. Connect your LLM to the web. So it's actually a really good tool for doing like searches and querying the web. Used it before in different other open source tools and builds and whatnot. Web search, so enhanced syntax, highlighting for code snippets, intelligent project structure creation and management, advanced code analysis and improvement suggestions, image analysis capabilities with support for drag and drop in the terminal. So that's actually a new, I believe it's a newer feature that is here. Maybe not, but it's a cool feature, right? You can literally, and I'll show you this in an example that I'm doing right in just a second, once we actually install it, but you can drag an image over using the image command, and then it can basically view it, and then you can say, hey, make me a dashboard that is similar like this, or whatever the case may be, right? So improved auto mode for efficient autonomous task completion. All right, with auto mode, I mean, at least from my experience, I mean, maybe you guys, maybe it's, you really got to fine tune everything, but you know, when you're using auto mode with certain AI models, it can sometimes get a little sticky, right? But anyways, robust iteration tracking and management in auto mode, precise diff-based file editing for controlled code modifications, enhanced error handling and detailed output for tool store usage, color-coded terminal output with rich library for improved readability, detailed logging, improved file editing workflows, dynamic system prompt updates, tool check model, code editor model, code execution model. Okay, so token usage tracking, I really like that. Code dev developer or whatever has that as well. So I like when they do have that, when it actually shows you how much each thing is costing, right? That's always good, because if you're just using it, your bill can stack up if you're using it very on a day-to-day basis. Like I've had some big bills, as you can imagine, as I use these tools every single day. But anyways, chat log saving capabilities, this is pretty useful. You can save it as markdown. Enhanced code execution capabilities with isolated virtual environment, process management for long code executions, multi-file reading capabilities for efficient handling of multiple files simultaneously. All right, here's the install instructions. Now there's actually a few, as of now, as of recording this, like of course this could get updated, because I believe there's a few issues that you would face, at least I did, if you're installing it like this day to day following these instructions, just because of a few different updates and then requirement issues. So but yeah, in the future, if you're watching this, maybe you won't have to do this. I'm going to show you exactly how you can get around that in this video. So, and then you can set it up with a virtual environment too. And then here it goes over some of the commands, right? And then special commands right here, such as image, reset, auto mode, etc. And then, yeah, just some more stuff using different AI models, improved auto mode, going over some of those features we just covered in more detail, image analysis. Even they have a workflow diagram right here. I believe this is pretty cool that they have this interactive workflow diagram. If you really want to take a look at everything, we're not going to, you know, do a deep analysis right now, but you can see here we got you know, user input, save, chat, and markdown. It pretty much shows you all the different possible commands and how it works if you enter auto mode, if you execute a tool, the different tool options, generate response, display token usage. So pretty cool that they have that. It gives you a really nice visual of how to use it. And they also just, and maybe I'll do another video on this, but they do have Ollama engine as well, engineer. So this is basically Claude Engineer with the power of Ollama. For those of you who like to run local models, you don't just want to use Claude, which is, you know, expensive model. So you can check that out, but I may do a video in the future. If you do want to see me to do a video of that, let me know in the comments down below, guys. Other than that, let's get right into the install. Let's waste no time here. So we're just going to run git clone the repo right here, and then you're going to cd into Claude Engineer. So I've already done all this, but that's exactly what you do. Now you're going to need to, once you're cd'd into Claude Engineer, you're going to need to install the required dependencies. Okay. And once you do this, basically at the moment, Tavily, this is kind of the thing I was talking about. There's a few new versions, and I even actually shout out to this gentleman right here in the issues. I saw that he made this 2 days ago. So version issue with Tavily 0.36 or 0.37 needs to be 0.35. Okay, so hi folks, I just came across this repo while doing a fresh install. I found a bunch of packages missing from Tavily. Downgrading to tavily-python 0.35 helped fix it. Just letting others know. Boom. So help this guy too with dependency issues. Yeah, because when you just do it normally, you're gonna get like oh, you need a Cohere API and you need this and that, all this other stuff that we don't want to do. So all you're gonna do is, so once you install the dependencies, you're just simply going to run this command right here. Let me just show you what it looks like. Let me pull up. I'm going to go, for example, here, and you would just run this command, and I'll leave this in the description down below. Pip install tavily-python 0.3.5. Okay, so we're installing a specific version, not the newest version. All right, this is nothing to do with Claude Engineer. This is something to do with Tavily's newer updates. And so yeah, who knows what's going to happen with that. But as of now, we need to use this version. Okay, once you do that, everything should start up fine. So it should basically look like this. It's going to be like type image to include an image in your message, type auto mode to enter autonomous mode with specific numbers of iterations, type reset to clear conversation history, type save chat to save conversation in markdown. All right, so what I typed image, and then I simply just, it's going to say drag and drop your image, then press enter, right? You could use autonomous mode, you could use whatever, but I just did the image, right? Now, if you saw my video I did, I believe yesterday, which I did a video on Open UI, where you can generate open components in somewhat of like a Claude artifacts type UI, and it's pretty cool. Definitely check that out if you haven't. I actually use this same image. This is a Trello board calendar from Trello, if you're familiar with Trello. So it's just basically a calendar app, and I want to see how Claude Engineer can do. We did this with the UI, and it looked pretty good, Open UI yesterday. Let's see how we can do with this calendar app. So processing image message added to conversation. Now, after that, it's going to ask you for a prompt, and I just basically said, oh yeah, here it is. I want to recreate this calendar dashboard. So here's Claude's response. We'll need to create at least 3 files, an HTML file, CSS file, and JavaScript file. Let's start by creating the HTML file. And the required parameters for the create file tool are path, content. Both require parameters are available or can be reasonably inferred. So we can proceed with the tool call, and then boom. So we see tool input, and it encountered an error, and it said, I apologize for the error. It seems that there was an issue with some Unicode characters, and then it's basically saying that we'll update a version without the emoji characters. And as you can see here, I really like this table with the main model, right? We can see 5018 so 4018 for input, 1000 for output. Cost is 0.027. And then same thing for tool checker. You can see it here. You can see percentage of context. So boom, here, like doesn't have context, doesn't save context, code editor, code execution. So we can see the different costs and the total cost and the input and output and total number of tokens. So I really like that, that nice, cost breakdown right there. I'll have to double check, but from my recollection, I don't think Aider necessarily has something like this right after you use an output, unless they maybe added it, or else maybe I'm mistaken. But that's something really cool I like about this. Claude Dev has that as well. I wish, like, some other tools, like I wish Continue would have it, and stuff like that. Anyways, certainly I'll create the HTML file, blah blah blah, without emojis. So here we go. It created it, and you can see it just added it right here. So index.html. Okay, you can see the pricing and whatnot. So now it's, would you like me to continue with the CSS file? Yes. Create CSS and JS file. I don't know if it will be able to create them both at once, or if it's gonna have to create one and then the other, but let's go ahead and see what this guy can do for us, as we're really coding right now. This is what's coding has become. So yeah. I'm just joking, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I love leveraging AI with our code. So as you can see here, it created a styles right here. Certainly I'll create both. Did it create the JS? Let's start with the JS, CSS, and then move on to the CS. Both files should be created in the same directory. Let's create, okay, so it's creating the CSS folder first. I don't know if it can create both at once, but yeah, it can create, like it did create the CSS. Let's do JS. Okay, so we got the JS right here. Okay, so pretty cool. Now I just started a live server, and let me go ahead and see what we got here. Okay, so out of box, this is what we got. So we got, this actually looks more initially a bit more like obviously Trello right out of bat than the one yesterday. Like we can see it's actually very detailed. It's not, the UI isn't perfect, and it needs to fix some of this, but this is pretty decent out of as of now. Let me try something. I'm gonna screenshot this, and I don't know, it'd be cool if we could go to here and let's go, can I do image again? Image? I don't know if this will work. Okay, so it doesn't, as of, I don't know 100%, but it doesn't look like it's letting me upload another image. Maybe I don't know. But anyway, so we can see the files in context here. Let me just try to explain what's wrong. So looks pretty good, but the calendar dates aren't styled in boxes like the initial image, and there is a random C outside the calendar drop down in the top left. Okay, we'll just keep it like that, and maybe I'll say also give the styling a bit more of a modern feel to it with a nice UI. Okay, obviously we're not gonna like really try to make this perfect here. I just want to do this for testing purposes, of course, just to kind of show you. Let's just kind of see what some of the power of Claude Engineer is. Okay, so boom, let's see. So tool, edit and apply, update CSS, cool. So I believe it's doing that right now. Okay, so let's see what we got. So attempt following search replace blocks have been generated. Error editing, could not find module this, though it should be built in. Apologize for the error. Let's try update the CSS file directly using the create file function, which will overwrite. Sure. Okay. So all in all, I mean, do I see anything that's really like much different or really like amazes me with this comparative to some of the other tools we mentioned? I mean, not necessarily. I do think this is a good tool. I think it's a pretty great tool, but let's just see here. Okay, so I've updated the CSS file. Now let's update the HTML file to remove. Okay, yes, please. Okay, so I'm just gonna finish this last iteration just so we can actually see what we get here. And then, you know, I'm not going to continue on improving it, but of course, if I was to, I would want to make sure it actually had functionality, was able to, okay, so error creating this. Okay, so it should have, I think it had an error with the whole emoji thing again. Maybe that's what the Unicode was, the C. Okay, is there anything else? Well, let's go ahead and see how this is looking now. Wow. Okay, that's way better. So still not perfect. Like obviously I would say, hey, put Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, etc. over like this. But it's a lot better. Now we actually have the dates showing like this. Of course, you know, we can't filter. It's only showing March. We can't really use anything. These buttons aren't usable. Nothing is usable, even the search, whatever. But you could continue on improving this. This is something I made in literally about a couple minutes just with Claude Engineer. All in all, I think it's pretty useful. I mean, at the end of the day, it's using Claude Sonnet 3.5, which is, you know, very good at coding. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Want to show you how to set up Claude Engineer. Like I said, keep in mind, if, as of now, you know, this could be updated in the future, but you're gonna have to do that extra step. I told you when installing that. Link for that will be in the description, so you can install the older version of Tavily. Just use that command. Other than that, guys, if you're new to this channel, we upload videos every single day on AI, automation, business growth, open source tools, whatever the case may be. We got a lot of really cool stuff on the way. Probably encountering an issue here just because I have so much tabs open. But yeah, we actually just hit a huge milestone yesterday of 4,000 subscribers. I think we're actually at 4,120. So been seeing a bit of spike lately. So thank you for all the new subscribers. Thank you for this new support. Really trying to put a lot of effort into improving the content, improving the quality, etc., as well as get take your guys' feedback and suggestions and make videos on those, so we can all continue, you know, improving our improving our AI, improving our code, or improving our whatever the case may be, our business, right? So other than that, thanks for, you know, the support. If you're new, if you haven't already joined our free community, stridecommunity.com, link for that will be in the description down below. Our free Facebook group, free Discord channel. And then, yeah, you can check out my book too, Client Acquisition Code, in the link down below. Got a lot of cool stuff coming for you guys, you know, in terms of content, showing you guys how to do stuff, and been working on a lot of cool things behind the scenes too. And I'll start maybe sharing some of that in future videos. For example, just not to get too in depth into it, but we got a really cool new system for those of you that run businesses. You know, we've been working with a couple different clients lately. And even just today, one of our clients, we automatically, within under 30 minutes, booked them directly into their calendar, 6 quality appointments into their calendar with them without having to lift a finger, all by leveraging different AI things that we're building, different systems and cutting edge technology. So if you run a business, service-based business, B2B, SaaS, marketing agency, coach, consultant, and you're running paid traffic, running paid ads, or you have leads coming in, you maybe have appointment setters, this, that, whatever. We have systems to pretty much automate that whole process, streamline it, so save you a bunch of money and do a bunch of cool stuff. So if that sounds of interest to you, you can book a call down below, executivestride.com/apply. All right, and then you can just book a call, speak to myself, and see if it's a good fit or not. But other than that, guys, I will see you in tomorrow's video. Keep hustling, keep grinding, and of course, guys, accelerate your stride. Take care.